Hi, Cancers. This is your March astrology reading for all Cancer signs. Now, I'm making sure that I come through and I say this on everybody because I've been noticing a lot of people who are following me who, are just either getting into the astrology, getting into their spiritual path, whatever it may be. And as they're starting to follow the videos, they're not fully understanding what I say when I mean sun, moon, rising. And I want to make sure that I'm putting it out there for those who are newer to the idea. I can always do your astrology. You can look in the description box below and you can book an appointment with me. Or if you're not interested in booking an appointment, but you just want to understand what in the world I'm talking about, you can always Google, how to find your ascending sign or your moon sign. And it will also give you a chart. 90% of the time, it doesn't really explain it. But, explain every one of the chart information to you, but it will tell you about the ascending sign and the moon sign. And that way, at least you can find out what those three signs are for you. Now, with that being said, this is when I do the astrology, I do it being like, say you're a moon Cancer sign. This would be talking about your subconscious becoming conscious. Your emotional depths would be what we'd be looking at within these areas of what we're talking about, because we'd be coming from the moon direction of the astrology. If we're talking about you having Venus in Cancer, then we're talking about your sensitivity to it, whether it's positive or negative, and what you're doing with that due to that positive or negative energy. If you're a Cancer sun or a Cancer ascending, then we're pretty much in your core energies and we're following your houses and letting you know what's going on. With that being said, as a Cancer sign, we are definitely in your extroverted energy for the most part. We are looking at your what you initiate. My mouth is not working. We're looking at your self-motivation, your action-oriented and self-assertive energies in that outer world with the outer relationships, other people, and what seems to be your top priority, what seems to be visible to you. Okay? But here's the thing. For the next year and a half, at least, I would say is an incredibly pivotal time for you. And for the next 3 months is another pivotal time for you. Because your North Node, the North Node, Rahu, is in your first house, your self-awareness. But in the next 3 months, it's moving into your 12th house, because it's the only one that always moves backwards. So the more you're getting right with your self-awareness, your true character, your true personality, your true view of life, your core, your identification with yourself, that self-awareness, the more that you're getting right with that, a whole lot less healing will have to be done when the North Node enters Cancer. Because, not Cancer, when it leaves Cancer and it moves into Gemini, because Gemini will be your 12th house. And that's where it's going to start really seeping into your inner secrets, your inner skeletons in the closet, your inner grief, sorrow, shame, and blame, your inner self-judgment, your inner self-deception. It's where you create the sacrifice because at the time you think it's the right thing to do, but in the long run, it really harmed you and didn't help you. And Spirit is saying the more you're getting right with it, the better your 10th house will be. And Spirit just threw that in there because they're illuminating that 10th house for me right now. And that is your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your professional world, your financial success. And I get what that is, because they're saying the more that you're right with yourself, the more that you feel good about yourself, the more that you believe in yourself, you're truly centered in a calming, self-loving self. The less 12th house has to be cleaned up, and the more self-value, self-worth, and self-esteem has been created. And when you create feeling good about yourself, that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem within your self-awareness, it also brings you money, which will then bring you that prestige, professional world, honor, reputation, financial success. So over the next year, you're really looking at how to clean that all up. And that's just a self-warning of what I'm being given, because you're overcoming your inner grief, sorrow, shame, and blame that's actually held you back. But right now, it's definitely, how are you nurturing yourself versus neglecting yourself? Your self-awareness, your character, your personality, your vision. How are you neglecting it or nurturing it? Because depending on what you are nurturing or neglecting, technically brings it Jupiter energy, which is bringing it abundance. It's like the law of attraction. I say this all the time. If you feel good about yourself, your life, your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, your liberation, you feel liberated, you feel soulfully connected, then you feel like you're on the right path. And when you're on the right path and you're feeling it, then you cannot help but through the law of attraction bring things that are good to you because you feel good. But if you feel ungood, if you feel unclean, unsafe, unsecure, unworthy, unvaluable, undesirable, then you're bringing all of that to you because that's how you feel. It's just the way a law of attraction works. And this is about making sure you're getting to where you're cleaning up those areas of lacking. Not that you're lacking, but that you believe you're lacking. And as we try to overcome that, the next year will mold you into a brand new, stronger, forward movement. But you have to clean up those ill waters, so to speak. Is there anything else? They're just sticking with self-realization, and some more self-realization. Builds success in all directions. So you're definitely going through a transformational time. You're also going through some throat chakra, learning how to stand up for yourself, learning how to be a little bit more rebellious within that energy. And overcome some inner anger. And I always say to people, anger or frustration. Let me double check something in my notes. I have all my notes here because it's just the way that it works. But yeah, you're coming into new throat and third eye energy, which allows you to change your vision, change your intuition, rewrite the person that you are to the one that you should be because you're believing in it, and then bring it into your material world. Overcoming some of your fear and your pride that's kept you from actually getting right with yourself. So you're cleaning up intellect and details that gets you on the right path. And that is communication with self, which makes a lot of obviously it has to do with self-communication. Your unconscious communication is becoming conscious and is forcing you to get right with self. And you're going to be noticing that over the whole year. But you're definitely noticing it right now because the North Node Rahu only has, I think, 2 more months left in that first house before it actually goes backwards to the 12th house. So, like I said, the more you're doing right about getting with your self-awareness, your self-value, your self-esteem, you're cleaning up your inner skeletons in the closet by bringing it into your awareness, your unconscious becoming conscious. You're getting ahead of the game, so to speak. You're learning how to shapeshift into you and get past your own mental illnesses that have kept you behind. Is that it? Yeah, getting past some of your own pride and fear within that pride. Now, with that being said, you have, on the 4th of March, Venus moves into Taurus. It's also the day that Mercury moves into Aquarius. Now, on the 9th, you have the full moon in Virgo. You have the 9th, where the full moon's in Virgo, is also the same day that Mercury is going direct. On the 16th, Mercury leaves Aquarius, goes back into Pisces. On the 19th, the Sun moves into Aries. On the 21st, Saturn moves into Aquarius. Now, it's only going to be here for a very short amount of time before it jumps back into Capricorn. So it's assessing also the information that you need to start, that it needs to start working on, Saturn does, in Aquarius for you, prior to it actually staying here, in a couple months, because it's going to actually retrograde back, stay in Capricorn for a while, and then it'll come back. So we're really looking at what are we assessing in that 7th house that we're going to have to work on next year. And if you can get a head start on that, then you're already ahead of the game. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th house. So it's going to be rules, walls, responsibilities, boundaries within the relationships, and everything you care about, you have a relationship with. You have a relationship with your spouse, your loved ones, the ones you're dating, your parents, your children, your friends, your working environment. You have a relationship with your money. When you have no money, you know about your lack of money. When you have no vehicle, you know all about that relationship because you have no transportation. So any and everything you care about, you have a relationship with. And what are the rules, walls, and boundaries, and are they serving you within these relationships? You're going to be really taking a little hot look at that at the end of the month into next month, and then it's going to retrograde back, and it'll come back into the next year going, well, this is what we have to work on. Just giving you the upfronts. Now, you also have the 24th, you have the new moon in Aries. And then on the 30th, Mars moves into Aquarius. Here's the thing. Like I said, your first house, I pretty much already went over that with you because that's what Spirit had me start off with. You have Rahu in your north house, which is teaching you, are you neglecting or nurturing your self-awareness, your personality, your appearance, your view of life, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. It's the threefold. It's karma. And if you're not getting it right, you're bringing karma back to you in a negative way. And this is why this is important in a pivotal time. Okay? Because you want karma to be working on your side, not against you. Because of what you've chosen to do in your life. So being very aware of yourself, your inner skeletons in your closet, your grief, sorrow, shame, the stuff that you know you have in denial, but at least admitting I'm trying to work on that. And how that makes you suffer your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. The North Node is, like I said, it's what you have to learn in order to move forward. In Cancer, it also speaks to you about your inner emotional security. So as you're tapping into inner emotional security and what we need to get to the roots for that personal foundation, you're cleaning up that energy and getting ahead of the game before it goes into that 12th house. It's a very pivotal time for you to understand the North Node only has 2 more months to go. Did you get the memo? Because I'm moving in 2 more months and I'm going to start hitting even harder below the belt. And This is the time for you to get that right, because I ain't coming back for another 12 to 13 years to get this right. So don't make me push twice as hard when we're in the 12th house. Because after that, again, another 12 to 13 years. This is your chance to get right with self or ignore self. But next year, it's going to force you. So stay ahead of the game. Now, you don't have anything going on in your second house or your third house. What you do have going on is your fourth house. Your fourth house is it's directly across from that 10th house. And that's important right now because we're going to cover both at one time. That fourth house is your inner emotional security. You have Ura here, which is sacrifice and commitment. You also have Haumea. Where are you on the lotus flower growth? Which is asking you, the lotus flower grows in the swamp. So it's asking you, are you in the swamp so bad that you cannot see the light? Or are you finally starting to lift because you've been growing and you're a little bit in the light, a little bit in the air, and you're starting to stem up, but you're also still below? But you can see that there's hope. Or are you finally starting to stretch for the sky and bloom? Okay? Where are you on that lotus flower? Where are you in the sacrifice and commitment to that lotus flower? Okay? It's also Libra, which is asking you harmony and balance and justice in the home. The home is the home, but this is the home you can't get away from. The soul. Okay, so it's your personal foundations, your personal roots of inner emotional security, finding justice for yourself. Libra is begging you not to put justice for everybody else first, but to put it for yourself first. Because if it's putting it for yourself first, then that personal foundation, your true roots, your true real self, your true inner emotional security is finding your self-awareness, your self-value, your self-esteem, and strengthening that very core. If you are doing what most Libras do, which is unfortunate, Libras are so wanting to create harmony and balance and justice for everybody else to make it all beautiful. And what they do is they put themselves on the back burner. That is the wrong thing to do right now. Make sure that you're not a narcissistic, no, I cannot even talk, that you're so self-centered that it's all about you. But at the same time, you're not less than anybody. You're just as damn important. And your inner emotional security and your personal foundation must be a first. Because if you're not good to you, then how are you good to anybody else? The thing is, that is speaking directly across in very negative ways to your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your professional career, your financial success, and your social foundations. Spirit is saying use higher wisdom here. Soul wisdom here. Trust your gut. Because you have an Aries, you have Lilith sitting on top of Chiron, saying in that outer community, where that outer foundation that builds your financial success, your honor, your reputation, your professional career, the authority from the outer world, has Chiron here with Lilith. Chiron's the wounded healer. He's able to heal everybody but himself. But Lilith is backing him, going, so when are you going to be important enough to be first? You were put on this planet with a soul and a soul fire to burn. So why aren't you allowing it to burn? Why are you stuck in everybody else's idea of what social foundation needs to be? Why are you stuck in everybody else's idea of supporting their financial success? Why are you stuck in the idea of the outer community being, it has to be like so? No. If you soul fire helps you ignite what hasn't been helping you, you come into your flame for yourself. Then you start back building that fire into strength of honor, reputation. But you also have Eris here. Trouble, toil, and strife. So where are you gotten very good at holding on to what sucks? what's bad, and you're allowing that negative idea to nurture you. Eris is what I call Medusa. Medusa was never given the opportunity to heal. So this is asking you in the honor, reputation, prestige, outer community, social foundation, where is it keeping you from building the honor and reputation you want? Where is it keeping you from having the social success and the financial success that you want? Where is the outer world's authority not allowing you to be you and come into your power and to stand out in that uniqueness? Where is the trouble, toil, and strife of everything that's always been sinking its teeth into going, well, this is the way it has to be, and that's what you'll deal with? No! It's asking you if you'll continue to deal with it. It's trying to keep you on a lower vibration. This is about saying, I'm not turning into Medusa. I'm strengthening my outer foundation. I'm strengthening my social foundation. I'm strengthening what will create me to feel good about myself so that I can bring financial success, honor, and reputation to what I want it to be, not what this world says that I am. That comes back to trusting in that inner emotional security and the home. The home has to be secure, but more importantly, this home has to be secure. And that's the two of them in that conversation that you're going to be seeing all month. Now, as you get into your 1, 2, 3, 4, your 5th and 6th house doesn't have anything going on in it. It's your 7th and 8th house. Your 7th house is your relationship zone. Your relationship is any and everything you care about. Any and everything you care about. Your partnerships, your friends, your children, your loved ones, your parents, your working environments. Again, if you have a relationship with a car and the car is broken down, you know all about that lack of working properly relationship you have with the car. Because you have no transportation. Any and everything you care about, you have a relationship with, you have a partnership with. This is asking you, where is your soul spirit actually having a chance to be its soul spirit within these relationships? You have Saturn, which is about to move into the rules, walls, and boundaries of these relationships. Come the end of the month, I believe on the 21st. And then it's going to come back to the relationship itself. So it's asking you, where are you setting the proper rules, walls, and boundaries so spirit can be acknowledged within these relationships? We are connected to everything, but at the same time, we're given that soul fire to be our own special, unique person because each one of us are needed. So where is that unique person in these relationships? Is it shining? Or do you need to set rules, walls, and boundaries so it will shine? Mars is coming in and it's saying, hey, I got passion, action, aggression, and fire. And let me just tell you, I'm the inner warrior and I'm the inner sexuality. I'm the inner SWAT team and the inner belly dancer. And I got fucking confidence. And it's time to take some action. And then it's going to move into Aquarius next month, which is the rules, walls, and boundaries. So if you're setting the proper rules, walls, and boundaries that support your inner emotional security within these relationships, you're going the right way. But if you're neglecting it, Jupiter is also here, which will bring abundance to the knowledge that you're neglecting it. Okay? You also have in the 8th house, which is Aquarius, you have Ceres here. The rules, walls, and boundaries of the relationship. Ceres is the threefold theory. She is karma. So she's saying, well, this is what you're telling me you want. If you don't like what you're getting, change it. Set the proper rules, walls, boundaries. If you like what you've got, let's strengthen that. Proper rules, walls, boundaries. Either way. But karma Ceres is the threefold theory, asking you, are you nurturing it properly or are you neglecting it? And where do we need to assess the situation to strengthen it? Either way, within the relationships. That's your 7th and 8th house. Now, your 9th house is your higher self. This is where Mercury just went retrograde. And it'll be coming back on the 16th into that higher self. So Mercury is going to be going into that communication during some part of its retrograde. And as it comes out of retrograde for a hot little minute in those rules, walls, and boundaries of the relationships. But it's really bringing itself back to, are you paying attention to yourself? To your self-awareness? Are you trusting in what the higher self has to tell you? Because it's trying to connect with you. It's trying to teach you how to trust in your gut feeling, in your intuition, your spiritual, soulful gut truths, and those ethics and morals. And that inner wisdom that only the higher self can tell you. Are you connecting with it? Are you really having a communication with it? Are you connecting the sparks here? And listen to the higher mind, because Spirit is saying for you, there's definitely something going on with the higher mind. While the third eye is starting to activate, or the crown, something about that is telling you definitely trust in it. Trust in the sacral chakra and that third eye and crown, and get them in alignment because they're going to lead you in the right direction. The sun is also illuminating this energy at this time. So like I said, it's a very important time to be trusting that gut intuition. Now, I've already spoken to you about the 10th house with your 4th house, which is your inner emotional security and the outer world, outer reputation, prestige, financial success, social foundations. So we're going to go into the 11th house, and that is Taurus. Taurus energy is the bull. It can be very bullheaded for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. But the bull wants its luxury. It wants its abundance. And it wants to know where heaven on earth is. And why can't I just have it? This is the outer community. This is your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. But they're backed up by your friends, your groups, and your communities. And if they're not, if your groups, your friends, and your communities are not supporting your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom, and finding yourself, then how are they going to back up your dreams, your goals, or ambitions? Because they're the wrong fucking community. So the whole point is, your soul tribe shouldn't be making you fight to show them your independence, your uniqueness. They should be embracing it. If they're fighting you and making you stand on your toes and having to prove yourself, then they're the wrong soul tribe. But if they are embracing it and helping you, then they're helping you find your goals, your ambitions, and your dreams, and help breathe them to life. You also have Venus here, which is either going to help strengthen it because of the sensitivity. She's going to help bring loving energy to it, communication and money to it. Or she's going to be telling you, oh, I don't like it, and those people are bad, and they're not helping, and they're hurting me. She's your sensitivity. And like I said, your groups, your goals, your memberships, your groups, your goals, your friends, your memberships. These are all supposed to be part of your soul tribes. If they are helping you build and find yourself and your goals, your dreams, and ambitions, and supporting that, then they're great. And you strengthen that and you run with that Venus energy. But if Venus is telling you for 1 second that this is not good for you, you need to take action. Because Venus will be telling you, the ones who are actually not necessarily out to get you, but just don't give a damn. And just wasting space in your life. Then we come back into the 12th house. You have Vista moving in on the 21st. Vista is the soul fire. So she is going to be strengthening for the end of the month until she comes into your soul fire, core energy next month. She's strengthening that 12th house to help you get a head start on overcoming your own self-deception, your own grief, sorrow, shame, blame, your own pride and fear. She's helping you find new self-awareness, overcome it, which will strengthen your value, your self-esteem, and your worth. Listen up. It's going to be a highly important year. Pivotal. I love you guys. Bye.